But we're going to have some samples tonight, and I always encourage people to volunteer or answers to questions that I'll pose. Never will I make fun of you that badly. Chris, you're in the front row, so you're going to get picked up a little bit.
I can handle it.
I know you can. So milk, what we're talking about is milk. Anybody ever heard the slogan, "Got milk"? How about this? Milk, let me turn this on. Milk does the body good, right? That is a myth. Milk actually does the body very bad. And that's really the topic of tonight. But let me stop for 1 second because you have to understand. When we look at nutrition, that is only one component of your overall wellness. And let me see if I can scroll down here. There we go. A little bit difficult to see this. We don't have our new poster made yet, but what this is showing are the 8 different components of wellness. Now at the very top is nervous system. We also talk about fitness, nutrition, which we're talking about tonight, stress management over here, healthy posture, relationships, positive mental attitude, and of course a strong faith. All have a humongous impact in your overall wellness. Tonight is just one small slice of the pie. So I want you to remember that when we start talking about this in greater detail, we're only hitting one part. There's so much more to it that is even a precursor to your nutrition. If you have a nervous system that doesn't work properly, and it doesn't tell the stomach how to digest the food that you're eating, then putting good healthy supplements or food in your body is not going to be as effective as it would be for someone who does have a healthy functioning nervous system. So going back to milk does the body good, it really truly does not, and that's what we're talking about tonight. Now if you have questions, please write those questions down. I'll take time at the end to answer anything that you have. The information that's on your clipboard is really for the last part of the evening. So this is why we need milk, right? We've heard that it's good for us. Your nutritionist, of course, would say that. It's high in calcium. That's the primary reason we drink milk, right? It's high in vitamin D, high in potassium, high in vitamin B. The question is it really? When we compare it to other foods, we're going to look at those comparisons very quickly. But what you have to understand is that what you've learned is nothing more than fantastic marketing. These companies pay billions of dollars to influence the way that you think about milk. What we've learned is that if you drink milk, you can be beautiful, just like her. We've also learned that you can look like, I think it's Dana Torres. Again, stronger and more athletic if you drink milk. If you drink milk, you can be like him, healthier, right? You can even look like Brad Pitt. That's funny. Don't tell me that's not funny. But really, all of these celebrities are paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, each one of them, to pose for these articles that are paid by these companies. I've only got 3 slides, but this is called celebrity marketing. Everybody wants to do what the celebrities are doing. Recognize any of these? So if each one of these people, let's say they were paid $100,000 is all. That's a ton of money. So the dairy companies are making money, there's no question about it. Our beloved Shawn Johnson says that I love reaching for new heights. So after a workout, I drink a tall glass of low-fat milk. It has electrolytes to help replenish my body and protein to help build lean muscle. And that's no stretch. We'll talk about that in a second. Taylor Swift. On the road, you need energy. That's why I drink milk. It has B vitamins and protein I need to help get me going. So I'm always ready for the next city, the next crowd, the next encore. This is Rebecca Romaine. What she says, in essence, is if you want to be a good mom, give yourself and your kids milk. This is the Hasselback family, plays football. Again, he's telling you the same message. If you want a healthy family, if you want to be a good mom or a good dad, you have to give your family milk. So let's take a look at milk and see how it adds up compared to other foods that we should be eating. And by the way, does anybody know how many fruits you should eat a day on average? Any guesses?
8.
9.
8's pretty good. 7 to 13, depending on your size. How about vegetables?
Same.
Yep, 7 to 13, again, depending on your size and activity. So what we're going to look at is a comparison of milk on this side and other foods on this side. So 1 cup of milk, of course, we've always thought milk is the only source of calcium available, right? That's why we drink it. It has 300 milligrams of calcium. 2 cups of broccoli has 356 milligrams. So 2 cups of broccoli is far better. It's got way more nutrients than just calcium. 10 medium dried figs, 269 milligrams. 1 cup of cooked spinach, 245. So these are other great options that add the greens part of your diet and are far healthier, have far more benefits. Interestingly, milk is very acidic. So when your body has an acid, or the pH becomes acidic, your body has to leach calcium from the bones to make it more alkaline, to balance that out. So when you consume milk, it's actually depleting your bone density. Looking at vitamin D, 1 cup of milk is 124 international units. A tablespoon of cod liver oil, low grade, low quality I should say, is 1,300 international units. Quite a bit of a difference. 3 ounces of salmon, 794 international units. That's tiny, 3 ounces, that's a portion size, but that's smaller than what the average Joe consumes. Potassium. Let me go back. Does anybody know another good source of potassium besides milk? Any guesses anywhere?
Bananas.
Excellent. Yeah, so let's look at this. A cup of milk has 377 milligrams. 1 small banana is 467. A papaya, 781 milligrams. A cup of tomato juice, 500. Sweet potatoes, 500. Avocados, only half. So you can see there are a lot of alternatives. If you're looking at milk for a source of nutrients, there are far better options. Vitamin B, again, that was mentioned in Sean Johnson's article. A cup of milk, only less than 1 microgram. A slice of liver, I'm sure a lot of you don't eat liver on a regular basis. I've tried it, it's not so good. But 48 micrograms of vitamin B. 3 ounces again of trout, 5.5 micrograms. 3 ounces, so basically a filet mignon, 2.4 micrograms. Again, yogurt, far better alternative, 1.4. So you can see that other foods are excellent. If you have to drink milk, I want you to ask these questions. What do we eat typically with milk? My wife Jan and I just had that conversation. Yeah. Cereal, Oreos, cookies. Right? So truly, milk is a vehicle for other less healthy foods. Unless you drink milk by itself, which some people do, I used to. But what I want you to know is that it's usually just a part of a meal, and the other meal is not really a nutritious meal. So cereal, for example, most cereals are not health foods. Oreos, of course, are. But in doing this research, I always like to be prepared. I want to be in the know, trying to get back here. Can't get back. Anyway, I began to question whether or not I would ever even recommend raw milk, which of course those of you who are patients I've talked about repeatedly. I just got off the phone with a lady who supplies my raw milk, and she encouraged me that nope, it's okay. So we'll talk about that in a second. But here's another question. Who is cow milk for?
Cows.
Cows, right? Who's monkey milk for? Monkeys. Rat milk is for rats, and so on, right? You mind? Thanks. Human milk is not for cats. It's not for horses. Of course, it's for humans. So that's where I started questioning whether or not milk is really truly something we should consume. We've got to talk about what is actually in that milk. Does anybody know the process of getting a milk from the cow to your house? Anybody? We just take it for granted.
Depends on who's milking the cow.
Good point.